Welcome to this explainer. Let's jump right in and take something we all do every single day, eating, and completely flip how we look at it. Because honestly, it's not just a mundane daily habit. It is an epic, high-stakes, biological journey happening inside you right this very second. We eat without really thinking about what comes next, but the moment food enters your body, a perfectly designed, highly complex machine kicks into high gear just to keep you alive.
Seriously, take a second and think about the last thing you ate. Do you actually know what it's doing right now? A simple bite of bread, a glass of water, maybe an apple. The second it crosses your lips, it triggers this massive, intricate system of organs, chemicals, muscles, and enzymes. It's literally tearing that food apart to extract nutrients, create your daily energy, repair your cells, and eventually clear out the waste. It's a continuous, life-sustaining operation. Without it, well, we simply wouldn't survive.
And to put the sheer scale of this operation into perspective, we're talking about a journey of roughly 9 meters. That's nearly 30 feet of incredibly specialized biological tubing coiled up inside you. It works around the clock, fully dedicated to converting your meals into usable fuel. So how does this massive 30-foot journey actually unfold? Let's start at the very beginning. With Phase 1, the descent begins. This is the inciting incident of our hero's journey. And surprisingly, digestion actually starts before the food even gets anywhere close to your stomach. Right in your mouth, your incisors, canines, and molars go to work, mechanically crushing and tearing the food to increase its surface area. At the exact same time, your salivary glands release saliva, your body's very first digestive juice. That saliva contains an enzyme called amylase, which instantly starts breaking down starches into sugars. As all this crushing and chemical breakdown is happening, your tongue acts kind of like a sculpture, shaping the softened mixture into a little ball called a bolus, getting it perfectly ready for the next step.
Now, you might think swallowing is just gravity doing its thing, right? Actually, it's a super active, powerful mechanical descent. Once you swallow, that bolus enters the esophagus, and muscles in the wall create these wave-like contractions called peristalsis. It actively pushes the food downward. It's so strong, in fact, that it works perfectly even if you are hanging completely upside down. At the bottom, a tiny valve opens just long enough to let the food in and then immediately snaps shut to keep anything from flowing backward.
Moving right along, we enter Phase 2, the biological blender.
The bolus drops into the stomach, which is this muscular sac tucked on the left side of your abdomen. And the intensity really ramps up here. Your stomach is essentially a dual-action chamber. On the mechanical side, you've got strong stomach muscles continuously churning and crushing the food. But on the chemical side, it's releasing incredibly potent hydrochloric acid and an enzyme called pepsin. The acid obliterates bacteria and helps the pepsin tear apart stubborn proteins. In fact, that acid is so intense that your stomach has to constantly secrete a thick mucus lining just to protect itself. Without that lining, your stomach would literally digest itself. After a few hours in this extreme acid bath, your meal is transformed into a soupy, semi-liquid mixture known as chyme.
Next up is Phase 3, the chemical factory and enzyme powerhouse.
So the stomach slowly and carefully releases this chyme into the small intestine. Now, it's called small, but it's actually a 6-meter-long tube made up of the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. This is where the really heavy chemical lifting happens, thanks to some major helper organs. First up, the liver. It's one of your body's largest organs, acting like a massive chemical factory juggling hundreds of vital functions at once. For digestion, its main claim to fame is producing a substance called bile. But while it's doing that, the liver is also working overtime to store nutrients, filter out dangerous toxins, and process the food you absorb.
Now, where does all that liver bile go? It gets stored in the gallbladder. The second fatty foods enter your small intestine, the gallbladder is right on cue, squirting bile onto the food to absolutely shatter those stubborn fats. We call this process emulsification. By breaking fats and oils down into tiny microscopic droplets, they become infinitely easier for the rest of your body to handle and digest.
Driving this whole chemical breakdown is an absolute powerhouse, your pancreas. It acts like a rapid deployment force, releasing biological catalysts, enzymes, to massively speed up the whole digestion process. And the precision here is just incredible. Amylase targets the carbohydrates, pepsin goes straight for the proteins, and lipase tackles those emulsified fats. Oh, and the pancreas also releases bicarbonate, which neutralizes that harsh stomach acid so it doesn't damage the delicate walls of your intestines.
Which brings us to Phase 4, the main event, extraction. This right here is the climax of our journey. This is what all that mechanical and chemical prep work was actually for.
As the chyme moves through the small intestine, it encounters a surface perfectly designed for maximum nutrient absorption. It's not smooth in there at all. Instead, it's lined with millions of tiny finger-like structures called villi, which are covered in even smaller microvilli. It's a brilliant way for the body to build massive surface area inside a really tight space. Through these villi, glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids finally cross over into your bloodstream. From there, they're shipped off to build muscle, strengthen bone, and fuel every single cell in your body. We even absorb our essential vitamins and minerals right here to keep our immune system firing.
Once we've got the good stuff, it's time for Phase 5, cleanup and output.
So, with all the valuable nutrients fully extracted, the leftover, unabsorbed material drops into the large intestine. Its primary job? Water recovery. As it absorbs water, the remaining waste starts turning into solid feces. But what's absolutely fascinating here is the local population. Your large intestine houses billions of helpful bacteria. In fact, they outnumber your own human cells. These little guys are hard at work, producing essential vitamins, protecting you against harmful microbes, and supporting the very last stages of digestion. The solid waste is then stored temporarily in the rectum before being eliminated through the anus, keeping your body perfectly clean and balanced.
So if you're wondering how long this whole shebang takes from the first bite to the final output, it's anywhere from 24 to 72 hours. And your body is incredibly smart about pacing this out. It constantly adjusts the speed based on what you actually ate. Liquids, they move fast. Fatty foods, they take their sweet time. Your stress levels, overall health, and how much you exercise on a given day all play a role in dialing in that perfect time frame.
Finally, we arrive at Phase 6, maintaining the machine.
Now, this biological factory works continuously, but its efficiency depends a lot on your daily choices. When the system misfires, we feel it. These are basically specific mechanical or chemical breakdowns. Acid reflux, that's a mechanical issue where stomach acid moves the wrong way, up into the esophagus. Ulcers happen when there's chemical damage to that vital protective stomach lining we talked about. Diarrhea means the system is rushing, moving waste way too quickly before water can be absorbed, while constipation is the exact opposite. And food poisoning? That's when harmful bacteria or toxins get introduced and throw the whole intricate balance into total chaos.
But the good news is, you hold the keys to keeping this machine running smoothly. The rules for essential daily maintenance are beautifully simple. Drink plenty of water. Eat your fruits, vegetables, and fiber-rich foods to keep things moving. Avoid excessive junk food that just bogs down your chemical factory. Actually take the time to chew your food properly. Remember, that kicks off mechanical digestion right in the mouth. And exercise regularly to improve your overall digestive flow. Taking care of this system truly means taking care of your entire body.
So taking all of this in leaves us with a pretty profound realization. Digestion isn't just a collection of organs. It is the very journey of life itself happening inside you. Every single meal you eat gets meticulously transformed into energy, blood, muscle, and bone. Every heartbeat, every movement, and every thought you have depends entirely on this extraordinary system working flawlessly. So, as students of Ghauri education, and really as students of life, think about that magnificent, highly intelligent machine working tirelessly inside you right now, and ask yourself, what will your body build next?